Hey everyone, I had a couple requests showing how to make the banner that I made for Joanna's Let's Celebrate blog hop. So I thought I'm going to make a banner for me, for my house, to hang in my house or in my office. So I thought I would do it on camera so you can kind of see how I made it. So I'm going to use the birthday bash cart, and that's what this cart looks like. And what's really nice about this is probably my favorite cart right now, and has been since it came out. But what's really nice about this cart is in the back of the book, starting on page 58, there are 10 or 12 different flags for banners. There's this one, which just happens to be the one that I'm going to use. Here's one. There's one. There's one. I mean, I think there's 10 or 12 of them. So this is a really great, above and beyond the cartridge itself, which can be used for a lot more than birthdays. It doesn't, I did a ton of Christmas cards. I just changed out some of the images. Instead of using, maybe a birthday present, I used a candy cane or something. This is a great cart to have. So anyway, I think, quite honestly, the cost alone is worth getting the font. It has a really nice font, a really easy to read font. Here's the font. And you get upper and lower, and you get the shadow. So I think the cost alone is worth the font and then the banners, the tags that you get. So anyway, my banner is going to say brave. That's my word of the year. And I'm not going to use my gypsy. I'm going to show you how to make the banner without the gypsy. Since a lot of people don't have the gypsy, I'm going to show how to do it without that. So I wrote out what I wanted it to say and what I wanted it to look like. So I'm going to use the pointy flags that are on, sorry about the glare, that are on this page right here. And I'm going to do the rosettes that I did on my other banner, and I'm going to cut out letters that say brave. So let's get started, and I'll show you how I cut everything out. Okay, so I have my Cricut machine turned on. I have my mat in the machine, already loaded in the machine. I like to cut out a base for each tag. So instead of just cutting the paper, the face paper, and using that as my tag, I like to have a thicker base. So I purchased white and craft cardstock from Paper Tray Ink, and it's a heavier weight. I think it's 110 pounds. It's a really nice, sturdy, heavyweight paper. So I'm going to cut that out as my base just to give my banner some more sturdiness. So I'm going to cut this, my pressure, or my blade is set at 6. My pressure is at max because it's a heavier weight paper. You're going to need that to cut through it. I'm going to use this flag. I'm going to cut the shadow right there where my finger is. I'm going to cut the shadow first. So I have to go to the keyboard and find that, and it's the cupcake. I'm going to press the font key, font, and then I'm going to press the shift key because I'm doing the shadow, and I'm going to find, I have to find the cupcake. Here it is. Okay, and then we'll see if it comes up over here. Yep, there it is. There's our flag. And I'm going to set it at 5 inches. That's my favorite. That's the size that I like, so 5 inches. And I'm going to do quantity of 2. My paper is 8.5 by 11, and I gotta change my quantity to 2. And so I know I won't be able to get more than 2 on the paper. So if you have 12 by 12 paper, you probably could get 4 cut, do 2, or do it fit to page, do 4, and do. Or you could try autofill, press the autofill button and see how many you can get on the page. But you should, with 12 by 12, be able to get 4 tags. So anyway, I'm going to cut these really quickly. And then I'm actually going to cut 7. So when I get all those cut out, I'll come back. Okay, so now I'm getting ready to cut the base color for the shadow tag, and I have selected font. I'm going to select shift, and then I'm going to select my cupcake. That's going to bring up I'm going to bring it up here so you can see my tag. I'm going to select the autofill, that's this button right here, and autofill is going to give me the max amount of cuts for my 12 by 12 sheet of paper, okay? And if you can kind of see, I like to use the 12 by 24 mats. I just like to design on those in my Gypsy, so that's what I use. So I actually already cut these out. I don't think you can see. Oh, there, you can kind of see. So anyway, so I'm going to cut, I'm going to press the cut button, and now it's going to calculate that it can cut it 4 times. I think you missed it, but that's alright. And now it's going to cut 4 of the shadow pieces for me out of the yellow. Okay, so now I'm going to cut the inset part of the tag. So I already cut the shadow. Now I'm going to cut the inset part, and I'm going to cut that out of these 2 papers. I'm going to rotate papers. So I'm going to come up here. I'm still on font. I'm not going to push shift because I want the inset, and then I'm going to push my cupcake, and that should bring up the flag, the front part of the flag. Okay, I'm still have my autofill on because I want to do my max cut. I kept my dial size at 5, and I'm going to set my pressure at medium because this paper is a lot thinner. Probably put my blade at 5, and I'm going to press cut, and over here it's going to show you it can cut it 6 times. I'm going to stop it at 4 though because I don't need 6, I only need 7. So I'm going to do 4 of one and 3 of the other, and then once that's done cutting, I'll come back. Okay, so I'm getting ready to cut out the letters now, and I've already actually popped them all in. There's the E, that's the last letter. I'm cutting it at 2 1/4. This is going to be the face. I'm going to cut the shadow of the letters in white, but right now I'm doing the face. So I hit the font key right there, then I hit the shift key, and then I hit the corresponding key for the letters. So I have Brave typed in, so I'm going to press cut, and it's going to cut my letters. And then when I get done, I'm going to do the exact same thing, except for I'm going to do the shadow function, which is this next key right here, and I'm going to do basically the same thing, and it'll cut out my shadow. Okay, so I have all my flags cut out for my banner. So I have 7 of the background, just the white flags for sturdiness. I cut 4 yellow flags to cover that, and then I cut 3, actually cut 4, but I cut 3 of the pink because I'm going to rotate. I'm going to do yellow, pink, yellow, pink, yellow, and these are going to, this paper is going to go on here like that, and then this paper is going to go on here like this, and they're going to rotate. My banner's going to rotate like that. Okay, I think you can see that. Yeah, you can. So it'll be like that. So next thing, the next thing I do, I'm not going to ink these. I thought about inking them, but I think I'm just going to leave them the way they are. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue down all the pieces to the base. So I'm going to glue down the yellow and the pink pieces to the base, and this is my favorite glue if I'm doing a lot of gluing. It's the Scotch Quick Dry Adhesive, and it does dry pretty quickly, so it's nice, and it doesn't make your projects, you don't need a whole bunch of it, but it doesn't make your projects warp. Sometimes the glues that you get make your projects warp, and this glue doesn't do that. So I'm trying to get this on there as straight as possible so I don't have any white showing, and I do have a little bit of white showing, so I'm gonna cut that off a little bit right there so I don't see that. Okay, so there's the first flag. So I'm going to do 4 of the yellow, 3 of the pink, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my overlay and I'm actually going to use my foam tape, and I'm going to pop up the overlay onto the bottom shadow part. I like doing that. I like the way that it looks. So I'm just going to cut this really quickly and get this put on. I won't do it on camera, but basically then it'll be pieced on top of here just like this, like that, and that'll be the start of my tag or my banner. Okay, so I'm going to do all of that, and then I'll come back and I'm going to show you how to do the rosettes that I'm going to put in the center of each tag.